We're going to start with USC. Lincoln Riley, obviously the big name there, moving over from Oklahoma, and kind of an unprecedented move. USC was 4-8 a year ago, 3-6 in conference. According to F Plus, they were the number 78 team in the country. And you almost have to throw out like advanced stats systems on USC. SP Plus, I think their best shot was projecting them at 51 for this year. And Bill Connolly admitted, like, there's just no way to do this when you have a mass amount of turnover and a huge coaching change like that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, like USC, their over-under is set at either 9 or 9.5, depending where you look, which is the top number in this half of the conference. Depending where you look, they're the favorite to win the Pac-12. Yeah. Does that feel premature to you, or do you feel like, they got Caleb Williams, they got some studs, especially on offense? Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough in year one for Lincoln Riley. What are your thoughts overall about this team?
167 yards rushing allowed per game last year. 167, ranked 11th in the Pac-12 against the pass. That's not against the run. That's against the pass too. Like, they didn't bring any defensive tackles along that I'm aware of. Like, it's great you got your quarterback. It's great you got a Blitnikoff winner in Jordan Addison. That's wonderful. It's great that Lincoln Riley can freaking call plays. But okay, we're misremembering Oklahoma like a little bit. He had all this talent. This USC team is not more talented than his Oklahoma teams. It's not.
No.
You could argue this is one of the least talented teams that Lincoln Riley has coached in a number of years.
By the way, to that point, not Bill Connolly, but Elliott's blue chip ratio just came out, and USC actually fell out of it this year for the first time in a while. They're under 50% blue chips over the last 4 recruiting classes.
And by the way, no team that, like, right? Isn't that right? No team. He pretty much, with his blue chip ratio, gives you a list of teams that can win a championship this year.
Yeah,
right.
It's not a guarantee of success or anything, but that's the bare minimum of talent you need in order to actually win a national title.
Correct. You have to.
At least that's what we've seen in the recruiting on the online recruiting service history.
Well, he's been right every year that he's done it.
Yeah.
Like every team that has won a national championship has registered on this guy's, like, on in the top.
The blue chip ratio. At least 50% blue chip prospects over the last 4 recruiting classes. Yes. And USC strikingly has not actually met that this year. And like 15 teams have. So
yeah.
They barely have a top 20 roster. Yeah. They have technically you could say they have a less talented roster than Auburn. Now they do bring in a bunch of guys like Caleb Williams and Travis Dye, Mario Williams.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm with you on the defense. Continue with your thoughts. I kind of interrupted you there.
No. I mean, that's exactly like where I was going. The defense was so bad. And I mean, do we believe in Alex Grinch? Like, you know what I mean? Like, of all the coordinators that we're going to be bringing along, like, this is the one that we had to have. Like, yeah, could we not maybe have brought the O-line coach along and left Alex Grinch at Oklahoma? Like, done a little swap there. So yes, that's what's giving me pause there, I guess. Like, if you want to look at their schedule, like, the non-conference it's really not that tough. So, like, and you start, I mean, they do have Notre Dame. They finish up with Notre Dame. Notre Dame goes to USC. That's right.
Correct. Yes.
The last game of the year. But, like, other than that, you are playing in what's a fairly weak Pac-12 South.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's like they're getting to play a bunch of teams that aren't that great. Arizona State and Arizona are not going to be, breaking records here. Utah is going to push them around again. Utah is made to beat a team that can't stop the run. They're built for that. Notre Dame is going to push them around. Like they're going to have some losses there, but once you get past Utah and Notre Dame, like, what are their surefire losses? Like, there is, you know what I mean? Because they're playing Rice, Stanford, Fresno State. Is that tricky? Whatever, maybe Oregon State. Nah, okay, I could maybe buy into that. You do go to UCLA, so, like, I understand the win total is high, and I am going under.
Yeah,
like, I'm prefacing all this to say that I will be taking the under, but the losses there can be a little tricky to find on the schedule.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The schedule does look a little weak. There's a couple, like you mentioned, obviously they have to go to Utah, to UCLA. I would argue that even at Stanford and at Oregon State are not guaranteed wins for them, just because like I know it's a new era. It's a new era. It's Lincoln Riley. Like things will change eventually, but there's still a part of me that's like it's still USC. Like they still lose these games. They're not supposed to lose. Like they still find a way. But I do think that they will most likely be favored in 9 or 10 games this year, possibly even more, depending what Vegas thinks about Utah, Notre Dame, even by the end of the year. Who knows what that will look like?
Right.
But I think that they probably lose a couple games that they're favored in. Like I don't expect that to be gone from USC's genetic makeup like immediately. There's no way you can just fix that overnight. Am I wrong?
They were 4-8. They were 4-8 last year.
Yeah.
And I understand, like you added some pieces. I mean, okay, fine, that's great. You're still 4-8, and you didn't add offensive linemen or like anyone on the defense. You got a quarterback and a couple of really good receivers and a decent running back. You did. Like, I mean, props to you. You're going to win a few more games. Like you'll go bowling, but like for me,
Yeah.
Like I can absolutely see him losing the Oregon State game. I can see them losing even the UCLA game or the Colorado game, like against some physical teams that like to run the football. So yeah, I'm going to be taking the under there and feeling fairly confident.
Yeah, I probably gave it away, but I'm with you. I'm on the under. I'm actually not super confident just because like there is that chance that and there's also not a game that they can't win. Like I would make Utah and Notre Dame legit favorites over them, but it's still within like a touchdown. And when you have a guy like Caleb Williams who could take that leap, we didn't even mention Gary Bryant is probably the best receiver on their team, maybe even with Mario Williams there, Brendan Rice. Hey guys, just a quick note. I realize I missed Jordan Addison. I am well aware that he is on the team and he is their best receiver. I had an old roster in front of me when I was recording that. So USC fans, I apologize. I'm aware that Jordan Addison is on USC and will make them better. Most of my analysis remains the same. Just getting that in there ahead of the comments. Jordan Addison is USC's best receiver. Their offensive line, I know it's been ripped quite a bit because it's kind of easy to attack it, but I actually think it was decent last year, and I think it'll be okay this year. They just don't have any depth. They don't have any depth in the offensive line. I think if everyone stays healthy, they'll be okay, and therefore their offense will be great. Their defense, though, that's where you really are worried. There's some transfers. You got some names like Shane Lee, but is there anyone on their defense that you feel positive will be a great player? Like I don't feel that way. They have, I wouldn't be shocked at all if we looked at their advanced stats rankings at the end of the year and their offense is in the top 10 and their defense is around 50. Like that just wouldn't be shocking to me at all. And to me, that feels like a 9-3 team, maybe even 8-4.
8-4 was kind of the number that I arrive at. No, I agree. For me, when you see the blue chip ratio and you see like really what they're up against, to say that that's a less talented team than what Auburn has, like it feels like you're going to get worn out over the course of a year. And you do have upside because with talent like that, you have upside. Like you could upset anyone.
Exactly.
I agree that there's going to be some games that they should be winning that they're going to struggle in and lose a few.
Yeah.
So we have agreement there. I think the number was 9.5. Is that right? Was that the over
9 or 9.5? If you're going under, then you got the 9.5.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take that one. Under on 9.5.
Yeah. I mean, would you be shocked at all if they beat Notre Dame and lost to Oregon State and Stanford? It would be surprising.
No.
I wouldn't be shocked.
No.
That's just,